Once upon a time, at the edge of a peaceful village, there was a beautiful jungle unlike any other. Giant trees touched the sky, colorful birds filled the air with songs, crystal-clear rivers flowed between ancient rocks, and warm sunlight painted the forest in shades of gold and green. It looked like the most beautiful place on earth. But no one dared to enter it. For hundreds of years, the villagers believed a terrifying monster lived deep inside the jungle. Parents warned their children never to go near it, and hunters who entered the forest always carried their sharpest weapons. Only one person never believed those stories. His name was John. John was 15 years old. He loved exploring nature more than anything else. Every afternoon after school, he packed a small backpack with water and food and wandered through the jungle, searching for beautiful places no one had ever seen. One sunny afternoon, while following a colorful butterfly, John accidentally walked farther into the forest than ever before. Suddenly, the birds stopped singing. The wind became silent. Every sound disappeared. John slowly turned around. Standing only a few feet away was a giant creature. It was nearly 12 feet tall, with black stone-like skin, glowing blue eyes, enormous curved horns, and claws sharper than knives. John's heart raced. He thought his life was over. But instead of attacking, the monster slowly sat on the ground. Then, it smiled. John couldn't believe his eyes. Carefully, he took a sandwich from his backpack and placed it on a rock between them. The monster gently picked it up and took a bite. For the first time in years, it smiled even wider. "My name is John," the boy said softly. The giant creature placed one hand on its chest. "Kael." From that day forward, an impossible friendship was born. Every afternoon, John returned to the jungle. They climbed waterfalls together. They raced through the trees. Kael carried John across wide rivers. Sometimes they simply sat together on a giant rock, laughing while watching colorful birds fly across the bright blue sky. John had finally found the friend he had always wished for. But John didn't know one terrible secret. Every night, Kael quietly watched the village from the shadows. Whenever armed hunters entered the jungle, Kael believed they wanted to capture or kill John. To protect his only friend, Kael frightened them away and fiercely fought anyone who attacked him first. As weeks passed, fear spread across the village. People whispered about the mysterious monster living in the jungle. The mayor offered a huge reward to anyone brave enough to find and destroy the creature. John refused to believe any of it. "Kael isn't evil," he told everyone. "They simply don't know him." One evening, John stayed in the jungle longer than usual. As the sun slowly disappeared behind the mountains, he suddenly heard frightened voices. He ran toward the sound. When he reached a clearing, he froze. Kael stood in front of several terrified hunters. The hunters had surrounded him with spears and arrows. Kael defended himself with powerful roars and sweeping blows, forcing the hunters to drop their weapons and flee in fear. John stared at his best friend. Tears filled his eyes. "Kael, was it really you?" The giant monster slowly lowered his head. "I only wanted to protect you," Kael whispered. "They carried weapons. I thought they wanted to hurt my only friend." John slowly walked toward him. He gently placed his hand against Kael's enormous arm. "I know you wanted to protect me. But not everyone is our enemy. They have families. They have children. They are afraid because they don't understand you." Kael remained silent. For the first time, the mighty monster looked completely broken. A single tear rolled down his face. John took a deep breath. "If you truly love me, you must leave this world." The words hurt more than anything John had ever said. Kael closed his glowing blue eyes. After a long silence, he smiled one last time. "You were the first human who treated me like a friend. I will never forget you." The giant monster turned around. Slowly, he walked deeper into the jungle. His enormous shadow disappeared between the ancient trees. John stood there, unable to move. He watched until Kael was gone forever. Years passed. The village slowly forgot about the monster. Children once again played near the forest. Hunters stopped searching. Everything returned to normal. But every Sunday morning, John visited the same giant rock where he and Kael had laughed together. He placed a fresh sandwich on the rock. Then he smiled toward the endless jungle. Because somewhere, beyond the trees, he believed his best friend was still alive, watching over him from a distance. And although they never met again, their friendship lived forever. The end.